ESPN. Okay, they came out with their fantasy positional rankings, and tonight we're going to take a look at the running backs. Number 1, okay, Christian McCaffrey. We could have probably all expected that, but I'm glad that Eck is getting the respect he deserves at number 2. A better offense is going to mean a better Austin Ekeler. He's going to have probably some things to prove this season as far as a contract. I know he at least tried to get $12 million from the Chargers, and I think the Chargers extended him like a $10 million offer or something, and he didn't like that. Number 3, Saquon. I think that's fair. JT, isn't it so crazy that JT is now at number 4, which obviously still isn't bad, but last year JT was like, people were talking about maybe taking him first overall, and I think a lot of people did take him first overall. So to see him now at 4 is interesting. New quarterback situation, Anthony Richardson. I think it is going to definitely bring up JT's value, because you best believe they're going to be running some sort of quarterback options. They're going to be getting JT involved in screens and stuff. And for sure, his value goes up. Bijan at number 5. For me, I'm in a legacy league, and Bijan is the number 1 target for anybody in a legacy league. Okay, this guy is the definition of a legacy running back coming in, rookie season. We know he's going to get a ton of touches. He's going to get reps. I mean, they are going to use Bijan the way they used Cordero Patterson maybe 2 seasons ago. That season, I drafted Cordero Patterson with my last pick, and I think he finished as like the number 4 running back on the season. So you could call that a steal. They're going to use Bijan for pass plays, running plays. I mean, you guys have seen it in the media. He's been saying that about the team. That's not news. They're going to overwork Bijan. The only reason why I think that that's not necessarily true is they still have Algier. Okay, they spent a 2nd round pick, I believe, on him last season. And they still have Cordero Patterson, and don't write off Cordero Patterson. It's not like Algier is going to be water boy. He might still get, 10 touches in a game, 10, 15, and then Cordero another 10. Cordero too is used with screenplays, and that's what they're going to do with Bijan. I think they're like phasing out Cordero, and they are phasing in Bijan to be like the same guy. You know what I mean? Like to do the same things. So Cordero Patterson was not like your prototypical running back. I mean, this dude lined up in the slot at receiver and was probably their best receiver. How old is Cordero Patterson? 32. Okay, shit, I thought he was older. Still, 32 for a running back, that's like 57 for Tom Brady. Josh Jacobs, okay, I bet on him 2 seasons ago. So keep that in mind. 2 seasons ago, issues. Fantasy issues. Basically the equivalent, in my mind, to a Damian Harris character. He'd get a touchdown maybe, but this dude also was hurt, and he would get like not that many yards on the ground, like 50 yards on the ground. Like he did not have a great fantasy year. So then I went into this last season thinking the same thing, and he did great. So maybe it's 1 year on, 1 year off, 1 year on. I don't know. Travis Etienne in the top 10. What's interesting? I see underneath him is Ramondre. I think you got to put Ramondre Stevenson over Travis Etienne. I really do. I think Ramondre finishes as a top 10 fantasy running back this season. He's going to get a good amount of touches, and he's pretty damn good. But Ramondre now, I wish I had him, to be honest. I do wish I had him. I think he has a top 7, 6. I'm not going to quite go top 5, but I think he could be top 7. I think he could be the 7th overall scoring running back. Kenny Walker, Mr. Skywalker. Hey, how you doing? My fantasy running back that I'm going to keep in my legacy league. At number 12, honestly, I can't be upset about that. The fact that they have him over Dalvin Cook and even Joe Mixon. If you just took his last few games, like let's say 6 games once he took over for Rashad Penny, He was definitely in the top 10 discussion, but I don't know. I don't think that necessarily he's going to be a top 10. I think he'll be top 15. He might even be a little high here, in my opinion. Dalvin Cook, you see the question mark, the little questionable symbol. That's his whole story, man. Dalvin Cook, questionable. And if you don't have blood pressure medication, I'd advise against drafting Dalvin Cook. Kind of surprised Aaron Jones is at 15. Although they are going to have to rely on him a lot more without Aaron Rodgers there. Like, I don't know how Jordan Love's going to lay it down the field, but that's bold. I don't think he finishes top 15. Twitter. Let's get on to Twitter, see what the NFL Twitter is about. Also, I follow Dave Portnoy. Apparently, I saw on his Instagram actually today that he received a ton of hate for being shown in the Celtics game, like on the broadcast. He is quite possibly the most influential sports broadcast figure out of the East Coast, let alone Boston, maybe even the whole country. He is a guy that is one of the most iconic Boston figures in sports, and he's obviously not a player. I don't see why people would be upset that they show that he's at a Boston game. Is he really that hated? It doesn't make sense to me. And I love that he is posting this picture, Celtics in 5. He's obviously feeding into... What is this? Is this more hate? I didn't even have to go in the comments. I didn't even have to go through the comments of his actual post to see the hate that he's getting just in the Twitter feed. I had to just scroll once on my mouse and I see this hate. Celtics in 5, Jairola. Let's see who Jairola is. Air Force vet. Okay, see, this is the interesting thing about Twitter now. But I see a blue check mark and I assume this guy works for the Sports Illustrated magazine. And I'm not talking about the bikini photos. I'm talking about a writer. I expected this guy to be a sports journalist. There should be a disclaimer. Hey, this blue check mark is just a membership. Don't take this dude seriously. It fooled me there for a second. I don't know why they're clowning on him like this. I don't even know why I'm looking at Twitter. Twitter means nothing, man, to be honest. I don't know why people be so upset with Dave Portnoy, man. I don't understand it. I mean, the guy's one of the most influential Boston sports broadcasters. Even in the whole country, I would say. He's like a huge infamous name in sports. I mean, Barstool Sports, like, that's a huge name. And then people get upset that they panned on the guy in Boston. In Boston at a Celtics playoff game. I mean, I genuinely, it's hard for me to understand. And maybe there's beef going on that I don't know about, but it's just hard for me to understand why people clown on him like that. Jack Nicholson at a Lakers game. People wouldn't be upset about it. People would be like, oh yeah, there's a celebrity. Huh, look at that. And for them to be mad at Dave Portnoy, I know he's like a polarizing figure, but dang, dude, I just don't get the hate. I truly do not understand. I think it made sense he was at the game. I think it made sense that they showed him on the big screen. I don't see maybe I'm missing something, but I just don't see the hate, the reason for the hate. It just doesn't make any sense. I see here there's just bots in the chat, so I think this is a great time to just end the stream. Well, until next time, buenos noches, buenos suertes, and hasta luego.